I don't know if I want to go and watch these.
Like the trippy.
Let's see how we do.
Yeah, I'm seeing some reverb.
I'll let them watch it on YouTube if it was good.
Is that supposed to be on?
I don't think so. It's like a concert in here.
Ghost effect.
This is Cubs Radio.
Cubs Radio.
Can I say with your host, the abominable Don Sill?
The abominable. Sure.
No, I won't say that. I like abominable though. It's pretty cool, right? The abominable Don Smith. Don Smith. Okay. Yeah.
Ready to move? I think we're ready.
Live from the back room of the world-famous Governor's Comedy Club in the heart of Levittown, Long Island, it's Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up with your host, Don Sill.
Yeah, thank you. Benny Gagooch Razzuti, everybody. Thank you. And welcome to our debut show, everybody. Give a hand. This is our debut show. This is the first one of Put Up, Shut Up, or Stand Up. The show where we take two comedians and put them head-to-head in a comedy face-off of a whole bunch of different comedy segments that they have to prove themselves to see which one can earn a spot on the Governor's Comedy stage. So let's give it up. Let's meet our contestants, Bonnie Scalisi and Joe Capella, two nice Irish kids, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
Well,
how you doing?
I'm actually Jewish. I'm
Puerto Rican. Really
close though.
Based on that one, but.
So we also are joined here by three industry veterans who came here to help us judge this comedy face-off. We have Tony Walker. Tony, how you doing today, pal?
Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Thank you.
So, Tony, you are the host of the Knock 'em Dead comedy show.
I am.
Airs every single Monday through Friday.
Co-host.
One of the co-hosts. You got Eric and Sally.
Sally O'Neill and Eric Shevlin. That's right.
And you also do the, tell me also about your other endeavor, the Knock 'em Dead comedy troupe that you got.
Knock 'em Dead Comedy. We are a comedy troupe. We travel all over the place. We're Long Island based, but we travel all over the place. We do mainly murder mystery shows, but all sorts of audience interactive shows, game shows, kids shows, murder mysteries, all sorts of fun dinner theater shows. We travel all over the place. And we're currently up for Best of Long Island, so vote for us.
Yes, everyone give a vote for them right there. Knock 'em Dead Comedy.
Thank you, Don.
We also have comedy veteran Joey Petroni, who's been around the block and been there and done it all. Joey, tell us a little bit about yourself, my friend.
Well, I've been doing stand-up comedy for about 20 years, and it's awesome. And it's an honor for me to be here tonight to be a judge on the very first debut of Shut Up.
Put Up, Shut Up, or Stand Up.
Put Up, Shut Up, or Stand Up. It's an honor to be here, and thank you for trusting in me to be a judge, man. That's awesome.
Hey, man, Joey, I've always been a fan. I love you, pal. I'm happy you're here.
Thank you.
And just tell me, what do you think about these two so far? Just looking at them.
Just looking at them, I don't want to say they look funny, but they look funny. They look like they can be funny.
Exactly.
They look like nice people here, man. It's gonna be it looks like it's gonna be a tough contest.
A tough little battle royale.
Yeah. They got nice smiles, man. They look happy.
You got nice hair.
So do you.
Yes, this is awesome. We also have Kyle Blake, a actor, writer, movie maker, director, does it all. He's got his show, J City Heights. It's out now on YouTube and jcityheights.com. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Kyle, and about the show.
I've been working in comedy pretty much my whole life. Started making videos after SNL. I loved watching SNL when I was a kid. I've never done stand-up, but I'm a big fan of stand-up. J City Heights is what this bear head's about. It's actually, I live with this bear as my roommate in Jersey City. We started that about 2 years ago, and it's been going pretty well. We've won a bunch of film festivals, and you can watch it on Amazon and jcityheights.com.
Wow. Excellent. Give it a hand for our judges, everybody. Came a long way to come out here today.
A whole 10 minutes.
And be a part of this thing. And now let's meet the contestants, Bonnie Scalisi and Joe Capella, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everybody.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Bonnie. We'll start with you. When did you start doing stand-up?
A little less than 2 years ago, like a year and a half-ish. I took a comedy class here at Governor's.
Nice.
And then I started doing open mics. Then I opened my own open mic at Coasters in East Meadow. And then just not too long ago, about 9 months ago, I got a radio show here
Nice.
called Three's Company, and we just changed co-hosts. Tony Landolfi joined us for 2 episodes now.
Awesome.
We
Tony's
brought on
great.
Terry McNeely and Billy Mira
Nice.
was last week.
Excellent.
And I just produced my first show last night at Coasters, and it went very well. And that's about it.
Making it happen, everybody. Bonnie, nice. Very nice. Now, Joe Cabela, how you doing, buddy? And tell me a little bit about your stand-up experience.
Well, I've been doing it about 5 years, but I used to work nights, so unfortunately I couldn't really get out as much as I wanted to. Okay, because I like to get paid. But yeah, so I did that for 5 years, and I like Bonnie. I took a class. So I took 2 classes: McGuire's Comedy College and Stand Up University at the Brokerage. Okay, which made my parents very proud, because nobody in my family ever went to college. So, you know. But yeah, that's it. I'm very. I want to give a shout out to my wife Sue, my daughter Nicole, and it's all good. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun. Okay?
Yes, indeed, it is. And at what point did you say to yourself, like 5 years ago, hey, you know what? I think I'm funny enough to get up there on stage and do
Well,
this.
you know what? Doing it, the first one I did was McGuire's, the comedy, and it was like over 200 people standing room only. And I tell you, man, I did a lot of drugs in my day, but I never got a high as good as getting laughs from stuff that I wrote and walked off of there feeling like on cloud 9. And I was hooked right there. That was it, man. That was just no turning back. You know, and there's times you get down on yourself a little bit and you think, you know, hey, you know, maybe I had enough of this and this and that, but you just keep coming back. It's like I said, it's like a drug. You keep going back.
The laughter becomes an
It's
addiction.
contagious. It's contagious, and it's just I've met a lot of great people in the comedy world. You know, so I can't. I wish I could name them all. We ain't got time for that. So.
Yeah, because getting up on stage, getting up there, the adrenaline, and then the payoff of the when you make strangers laugh and you make people laugh and realize that you're funny. But there's always those other times too when we don't do so well.
It's not all good. It's like I said, it's the highest when you do good, but when you're bad, you just think you can't wait to get back on stage because you just want to wipe that memory out of your head.
Yeah.
You know.
So Bonnie, when you have a bad set, what's if you've ever had one?
No, I've had
We've all have, right? How do you come back from that? How do you get back up there and go on stage and perform again after bombing once and having that feeling in you?
Honestly, 2 wines. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the cure for everything, I think.
I am not naturally funny. I actually have a lot of help. I go to teachers to pay them to help me with jokes, and I don't memorize things easily. So it takes me a really long time to memorize something. So I am not like one of these people who's just naturally funny, can get up there. I just have to work really hard at it. And sometimes I'll do something and then it will hit, and sometimes it will bomb. But nobody's ever heckled me yet. I've never been heckled.
Well, you got the gagooch today, so you're going to face a heckler.
Uh-oh.
But now, being someone who self-proclaims says you're not naturally funny, what was it inside you that made you want to do this?
Okay, Joe and I can kind of, I think, understand each other about this. We're both kind of caregivers. I have 2 autistic sons, and he
My wife is MS.
yeah. So I had a lot of stress for years. I worked full time as a teacher, and the only fun I had was coming here to Governors and watching the comedians perform. I didn't know who any of them were, and there was just something about them making me laugh and getting me out of my misery. I said, I want to do that, and it was just like I had just retired, and I had set up an email. I didn't even have my own email, and I got an email from Governors asking me to take a comedy class, and I had like 2 days to decide. And I'm like, I'm not funny, man. I shouldn't take a comedy class. But I had to decide in like literally a day. So I went in there, and I just loved it. You know, we sat in the main room with John Truson and John Ziegler, and you know, they made us get up on the stage, and I was terrified, but I loved watching the other people. I like watching better than I like performing.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Now, when you are writing your comedy, because we're getting into our joke writing challenge, what's your method? Do you have a style? Do you watch something or driving or in the shower, and all of a sudden a funny idea pops up in your head? So walk me through your creative process of joke writing.
You wanted me to be honest? Okay. I've had lots of different teachers throughout this year and a half. started with, the class. Then I had some lessons with Joe DeVito. Then I had some lessons with Stevie Jeevy. I had some lessons with Paul Bond.
Nice.
So
Paul's great.
I go with them. I
Paul
go
is
to
a great
them with
dude.
ideas, and then they kind of help me, figure it out, formulate it, and form it into a joke. And then styles, I love Orny Adams, his style. So like I have certain things that I try to copy his style of how he delivers a joke, and
Yeah, he's got that curmudgeon style.
yeah,
Adams.
like
He's
he
just-
screams a lot.
He's mad. He's
Yeah.
complaining about life, kind of like a Lewis Black type of vibe.
Yes.
But no, that's great. And how about you, Joe? What's your method for joke writing?
I don't think like I tell people, there's nothing funnier than the truth. So I'll be in the supermarket and with my phone, and I'll see something that strikes me as got potential, and I talk into my recorder, and I'm not do a joke about it right away, but I'll come back to that, and somewhere down the road, something will fill that, and so wherever I'm at, I just use the supermarket. Kind of got a lot of good stuff I find there, but some weird people. But and I pattern. I got my like she talked about her favorites. I was a big Johnny Carson fan, going back.
Yes,
and,
I love
his
Johnny.
monologue. It was the way he delivered it was they weren't always funny, but just he made it funny. It's the delivery, and that's what I've been told. That your jokes are okay, but the delivery makes up for it. So.
Well, they say there's a difference between a comedian and a comic. Is the comedian says funny things, the comic says things funny. So there's that's I would
Good
say
point.
Johnny Carson's probably more the comic and
Yeah, so all
that
those guys
scenario.
back then, David Brenner, Dangerfield, and
Oh yeah, it's all about the
that
delivery.
was probably the highlight of my career too. Was doing a show with Dangerfields, and it was just like I don't usually go into Manhattan, but it was Dangerfields. So.
Awesome. Well, you guys ready for round one? This is round
Not really, but okay.
one. This is round one, the joke writing challenge. I don't know which camera I should point at.
I was trying to figure that out earlier, too.
So, the joke writing challenge, everybody. Every comedian should write their own material, and this round will test the joke writing skills like no other. Both comedians were tasked to write an original joke with a comedy premise and 4 keywords that they received over 24 hours ago. Bum bum. Prior to that show, judges will give their score based on originality, creativity, style, resourcefulness, and of course, funny. Just so everybody knows, the premise for this one was called, because of our debut show, it's the first time. The first time is the premise, and the keywords randomly chosen from my Words with Friends.
This was difficult. Very difficult.
I literally go on Words with Friends and randomly choose, and these are the words: is made, hex, leaders, and hive. So made, hex, leaders, and hive are the keywords. I'll put these here so the judges could see the keywords. And we will start off with ladies first. We'll go Bonnie first.
Okay.
So here's the joke: the first time, by Bonnie Scalisi.
The first time I had sex with my ex, he fucked me so hard that he made me come. Sorry, he made me pregnant, and he gave me litters of kids. So I put a hex on my ex, and now I live in a hive, and I'm the queen bee.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Very good. Very good.
Nicely done. Is it wrong I'm a little aroused?
Those legs are looking better. Those legs-
All right. All right, let's go to our judges. We'll start with Tony. What do you think of that joke so far, Tony?
All right, well, I have a question. How do we, 1 to 10? Is that how this is
Yeah,
working?
1 to 10 on the board, and then we'll give her critique.
All right.
So yeah, we'll give the judges time to deliberate here.
Right, okay.
In the meantime, we'll talk. Bonnie, how difficult did you find this joke writing
I
process?
thought it was very difficult because those words are they don't fit into anything.
Yeah, that.
You know.
That is definitely makes it challenging. Is that they are very random words.
So I took the word made, M-A-I-D, but I used it in a different way.
That was smart. That was clever. Yeah, I like that. I liked how you ended with the hive and the queen bee. So you worked that in. And then litters of kids. So you had a lot going for you there. So, Tony, are you ready
I'm ready.
for your analyst? All
All right, so what do you want? Don, you want me to show my number first?
Let's see the score.
All right.
And then tell her why.
All right. I give Bonnie Scalisi A 10.
Wow.
That's right. That's right.
Wow.
I give Bonnie a 10 because I like the use of her the word litter, because you wrote leaders.
Well, yeah.
But I like
she
that.
changed, yep.
She changed it, and I don't think she changed it on purpose. But that's part of Bonnie's charm. That's part of her charm. I
A lot of stupid shit.
I like how she kind of messed up and said "come out of nowhere."
Yeah.
Wishful thinking somewhere in there, but again, it's part of her like little innocent charm. Even now she's giggling. It totally works. That whole innocence of Bonnie, it works. The delivery works, and that whole persona. So she gets a 10 out of me.
Wow,
Thank you,
10.
Tony.
Big
My
points.
pleasure,
Big
Bonnie.
points.
My pleasure.
Joey Petroni, what do you have to say, pal?
I'm going to tell you that Bonnie hit me over the head on that joke. All right? Bonnie, I'm sitting over here thinking that you're the Jan Brady of comedy. A Brady Bunch girl, you know what I'm saying? Like Cindy Brady, okay?
Oh,
Cindy's even more innocent.
I'm more like Jan.
Jan.
Yeah.
Oh my nose! Oh my nose!
Yeah.
Regardless,
Not
That was
Marsha,
Marsha.
Jan.
That was Marsha.
I'm the middle child that doesn't get any attention.
I have you in my mind pictured as a Brady during the whole beginning, and then you hit me over the head. Okay? So I give you a 10 along with Tony.
Nice.
Wow.
And along with that, I drew a little. This is the beginning of the show,
Oh, look at that.
and this is where we went during her joke. It was awesome. I thought it was awesome. Nice
you.
job.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, Kyle Blake, my friend. What do you think of that?
I guess it makes me a bad guy. I'm going 8.5.
Whoa!
I have to say, though, in fairness, that 10 on the first joke ever for this show is a very high bar to set. I mean, he can't do better if everyone gives him a 10. You know, we're literally backing him into a corner. So I like to leave a little bit of room. I love your innocent. You could tell you used to be like a teacher.
I was.
So
A kindergarten teacher.
I love that. I love that about you. I would like really sell that home in your delivery, like play it like you're a little bunny rabbit, and then be like, and then he fucked me and made me pregnant. You know, like that. I feel like would really help like drive that fucking joke home if you like sort of like baited a little bit and then hit it. And then yeah, it was made MAID and leaders LITERS. I don't know, like bending the. You know, I think it was like work within the parameters that were here. So I guess you could get some creativity points for working around it, or you're disqualified. For
One or the other.
I'm not sure which it is because the rules are written on this piece of paper, but I think it's
I gotta be more. Yeah.
but 8.5. I think it's a great opening score as the first score.
Wow. So
Thank you.
so total of 28.5 to beat here, Joe. So no pressure, buddy.
Oh, pressure. Well, I'm already at a disadvantage because I didn't know these words. So I really just drew up a joke based on drawing a joke.
All right.
So I'm just going to go with that. And basically when I was, I'm getting older now. And I remember when I was young, I used to hear these things from my parents. Like, yeah, make sure you eat a lot of carrots. They're good for your eyes. And then the other one, which the guys can probably appreciate, don't do that. You'll go blind. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. Well, I did that, and I got caught. And my parents walking in saying, "What do we tell you happens when you do that?" It's okay. You're eating a lot of carrots.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's
So, what do you guys say about that? Now he.
I'm sorry, I couldn't use the words. I didn't know. I'm not that.
All right. So that might be points against you, Joe. But let's see let's take it to the judges. Let's see what we got. Tony, we'll start off again with you
Oh boy!
and Joey's
man.
carrot joke.
All right. Am I allowed to ask him questions?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Why didn't you know the words, Joe? Did you not get the email?
No.
Oh.
I sent it to you.
Did you?
Yeah, it was on
Oh, the email or the text?
and on the message board that we were talking on.
I must have met. Oh well, so be alive if you will. but not reading the whole thing.
All right. I mean, I don't know if we're supposed to take points off from Don. If you
No,
don't get the email.
I sent it,
All right,
and he
Don.
responded.
All
He
right.
said thank you and gave me a thumbs up. He gave me the thumbs up.
That's a joke right there.
Actually, I thought it was Benny. I didn't even send you anything. I just
confirmation.
looked at it. Okay.
All right. Well, points wise, I mean, I don't know. I'm tempted to just like, okay, Gene, I put down sloppy pussy. I don't know, but I don't know. Oh, all right. I'm looking over. I'm peeking at the. Oh, all right. All right. All right. I'll give him a 7. I'm giving him a 7. I do like how Joe came up with something on the spot. Unfortunately, yeah, you're right. He loses points for not having the words, but I can't go too hard on him. As a guy with a Hicksville High School education, I can't really, I wouldn't have words either. I wouldn't know how to read an email either. So I identify with him a little bit. I identify with him a little bit.
Thank
but
you.
That's the best I got there. Okay.
Joey?
Joe, I'm going to give you a 5, okay? I almost changed it to a 7 because I felt bad for you a little bit there. You didn't get the email. But,
Did get the email.
you got the email. And once he said you got the email,
That's on you.
Right.
That's on you.
once he said you gave it a thumbs up, I went back to the 5. But
Once emojis are involved.
I did like what you said, though. Well, that's an even Steven joke, right? You basically, the carrots are fixing your eyes, but you're taking care of yourself is making you blind. So you're an even Steven kind of guy. So that was very creative.
Well, thank you.
All right, very nice.
Appreciate it.
Well done.
Very good. So we've got a 5 and a 7, and now it's Kyle Blake's turn.
I'm going 5.25. I'm going to go off. We're allowed fractional points, right?
Yeah.
So he wrote a 7 and a 5, and I was like, okay, I'll go in between them somewhere.
All right.
I love the premise. You eat carrots to even out for the jerking off thing. I feel like that punch could be like you could just hit it a little harder. And I love your delivery and your style and your look. I think it could be really funny. But yeah, and then obviously the not reading the email and responding.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
All right, so now we have a total of, we've got to do the math here. Who's good at math?
7,
5, 7, and 5.2.
12.
So 12.25?
Wait a minute. What did you have? 5?
High 5.
17.25.
17.25 versus 25. Wait, what do you 28.5.
28.
Somebody writing this down.
I don't even know how to share this to my page.
Right.
I'm missing lots of
I
views
know,
here.
we gotta
Anybody?
get that on there.
So
I don't know
Oh,
how
yeah,
to share
thank you.
it.
So we got, so the score so far is Bonnie, 20,
This is a professional show.
28.5.
is this email thing? Is that for all the rest of the categories?
Is 17.
No, that was the only.
That was the
thing
only
they
one.
told
That was
me.
the only email.
That was the
Oh,
only
okay.
thing.
Okay, I was gonna say
All
this
right.
is a recurring theme. We're gonna have to
So,
Yeah, right. Just say goodbye now.
or just change how we score it, because otherwise it's gonna be.
it's cray cray is what I like to call it. So anyway, let's move on here. So we're going to now interview our judges. We're going to interview you guys real quick. We'll start off with Tony. Tony, the theme of today is first time. So tell us about your first time.
Well, the first time I stepped into the studio, I loved the place immediately. The first time. What first time are you referring to there?
I just left
Mr.
it open ended and wanted to see where you went with. No, I was actually looking for the first time. You lost your no. No,
Lost my keys.
Tell me about the first time you realized you were funny and wanted to do this for a living.
Well, I don't know if I found that out yet. I wanted to do this for a living. I discovered. I think the answer is pretty common one. It was when you're in high school. You're either a jock and you get the girls, or you play an instrument, you get the girls, or you're up on a stage and the girls dig it. That was it for me, going up on stage, because I sucked at sports. I couldn't play an instrument to save my life, and I jumped up on stage and heard the little giggles in the crowd and girls paying attention to me when I came off stage. That was when I got the bug. So in high school, and to get serious on you for a minute, it was surviving cancer, when I said, you know what, working the regular day job just wasn't cutting it for me anymore. The paycheck and the paycheck just wasn't enough.
Right,
so I've been ever since trying to make a living at comedy, and I'll let you know when I get there.
Hey man, like you said,
Right?
well, hey man, I'm glad you made this move towards comedy.
Me too.
Like you said, life is short. You got to make the best of every single day, and to be in a situation like that where you're reflecting on things and saying to yourself, you know what am I doing? This is not fun. I want to do what I want to do and make it happen. I think all of us in this room have that kind of mentality.
Well, if you don't mind, and again, I'm sorry to get serious on you, but you're one of the people that inspired me to keep trying, because I remember we're family.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
20 something years ago, both of us were like hating our life and trying to, but you did it. You had kids, and you still kept going until you made it work, and you made big sacrifices moving out of state. And I know we're turning this into a Don Sill, this is your life thing, but it took you a long time, and you kept going regardless of your obstacles, man. And when you have kids, like you did at a young age, a lot of people just settle and get the job, and you didn't. You kept going, and it's worked out perfectly for you. And so it's guys like you that told me I can make it, or at least try to make an attempt. But I'm enjoying the journey. We run this place. We have our show here. We've made a lot of friends in here.
Yeah.
We've known Joey for a while. Some of the comedians that come through here. It's been a lot of fun working here.
Yeah, man.
So it's more than just the paycheck. So
Yes, indeed, my friend.
So there you go.
And thank you. That means a lot to hear all that.
Absolutely.
Tony,
Thank
you're
you,
a good
Bob.
man, my friend. I'm happy to see success coming your way. So, Joey, tell me about the first time when you actually got up on stage and you performed for the first time in front of an audience, and take me through a little bit of that first time.
All right, so the first time I performed as a stand-up comic, I was scared just like anybody else, The hair in the back of your neck is sticking up, your face is turning beet red, and nobody's laughing. Except your mom in the back. It was tough, and then I was on a show, when you first start doing stand-up, you do a lot of open mics, and, we didn't know what the heck we were doing. I had a group of us, about 4 or 5 of us, and we'd do, it was a widow's comedy fundraiser over at St. Rose in Massapequa, and, I'm all set in the back, and the comic that goes up before me says, show of hands, how many married people are here tonight? Widows.
It's
it just sumped the room down to, it didn't matter what I said.
You got to follow that.
So, you you figure it out. You got to tune out all the negativity and all the nonsense on the side, and just have a great time, man. If you're having fun, if you're having a good time, I don't care about nothing else, man. I basically was doing it for myself. The best way to describe myself is I'm acting most of my life. The only time I'm not acting is when I'm on stage.
Right.
I'm acting normal all day.
Right.
When I go to work, I'm acting normal. I'm not normal.
So it's the only time you can
The
truly
only
be
time
yourself.
I can be myself is when I'm doing stand-up or doing something that has to do with comedy.
Yeah,
So,
man.
if that makes sense to you.
No, that definitely makes sense, man. And I think that's a lot of truth to that, man. And I think getting up there too and having that instant feedback,
Right.
if you're nailing it or not,
Right.
it's for the punchlines or not, I think is also a cool
It's awesome.
way to gauge things and to
Yep.
work in the right.
It's the only time, if people laugh, it's the only time anybody appreciates me.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, man. Does anybody really give a crap? I cut lawns for a living. Anybody really give a crap? You leave, you get a check in the mail, but nobody really appreciates anything. But when you're on stage, you get an instant appreciation on a joke,
Yep. And you've dabbled in all different sorts of comedy through your career, and I'm loving who you are now.
Thank you.
I've seen you. I now work with the Rangers, but you're an Islanders guy.
Huge Islander fan.
I saw all your Islanders
That's why this
stuff.
guy's in between us.
Yeah.
man.
I grew up an Islander fan, but now I work for the. But I enjoyed all the stuff you did for the Islanders and the Mets and everything else.
Yes,
so
thank you.
So you've been all around the block and doing all kinds of stuff. So
Having a good time, man. Like Tony said, you live once, and you can make money elsewhere, but you could also have fun. And time is money, and all that kind of stuff. And you weigh it out. As long as your family's got food on the table,
Yep.
go out and be nuts.
Yes, indeed.
Don't die though.
That's my new Facebook post. Go out there and get nuts, but don't die.
Don't die in the
I was
process.
going to get that tattooed.
Yeah. And that brings us to Kyle Blake, my good friend. Kyle is a actor, filmmaker. He does it all. Kyle, tell me about the first time you decided that you were going to make a movie with a bear.
Well, the bear, the actual background of the bear. Oh, here's the costume. This
I like
we
the
bought
glass.
this. This is actually like a $2,000 bear costume that we had like custom made. The mouth actually opens. It's pretty nuts. We had this made for an app that I was developing. I actually thought of the idea for a dating app, and I wanted the mascot to be a bear. So we had this $2,000 bear costume made up, and we had the app coded in India, and it bombed. It tanked. I mean, I had no idea how to make an app. I'd never done anything like that before. I thought I could do it, and I was totally wrong. Much better at making films. So the bear costume was just sitting in a closet, and my roommate and I were drunk at the bar one day, and we're like, hey, why don't we just make a show where I live with the bear? And we're like, all right. And 2 years later, it's J City Heights.
And J City Heights is a great movie. I urge everybody to go watch it. It's doing great in the festival scene. He just went to a festival out in Rochester, all over New Jersey.
Killed it in Rochester.
We should have showed that clip.
Yeah, I have it on my phone.
I do think we have a clip of J City Heights, so we're going to show the clip real quick. And once it's ready to rock, we will watch it.
Does this have sound that comes in here?
You ready?
I think the sound will go directly to the people.
Oh, so everyone here is just watching it.
You can hear it on your headphones.
Okay, yeah, so if you grab the headset.
All right, headphones on.
All right. J City Heights, everybody. It's jcityheights.com. You can check out the full movie. And
Guys, it's you guys. Please, have you seen them yet? Have you seen them?
What are you
Please
talking
tell me
about,
you've seen
dude?
them. I need you guys to believe me. They're aliens. Please, I need you to believe me. I need you both to believe me. Listen, I will suck your dicks. I will suck both of your dicks if you believe me.
I think we should hear him out.
I'll tell you everything you need to know. First, take your pants off and let me see that big old... Oh, no, please, just put on the glasses. You gotta see the truth. Where are the glasses? They're everywhere.
Dude, are you not seeing this? Put on the glasses.
I am not wearing those stupid glasses. No! Just wear the
Maybe I'm
glasses.
seeing shit. Let's go.
I will...
there it is, J City Heights.
All right.
J City Heights has a scene. Now tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind that particular scene.
So, has anyone ever seen John Carpenter's They Live?
Yes.
Any like 80s, like
Yes,
sort of,
80s, right.
yeah, like super corny movie. So we're big fans of that. We made 2 episodes of J City Heights before this. And we were, they were bombing in festivals. Like they weren't getting in anywhere. And we were like, well, maybe if we go for like more of like kind of a niche market, like a lot of film festival, aficionados would appreciate this film. We're like, let's make a spoof of it. So I actually bought a Bitcoin when Bitcoin was like $12,000, and then the price just tanked all the way down to like $1,500 at one point. And so I was so pissed off about it, I wrote a whole script where Bitcoin is a plot created by aliens to crash the world economy so they can take over. That was sort of the premise of the plot, and we went and shot it about a year ago. Finished posts like 3-4 months ago, and so far it's going pretty well.
Awesome. It's a great show. I love it. It's hilarious. It's one of those things when you start watching it, all of a sudden you get roped in, and you're like, I was in tears laughing, literally laughing out loud. I started watching on the train, and I'm just like, people looking at me. But no, it was great stuff. So jcityheights.com, jcityheights.com. Make sure you check it out, watch the whole movie, and then just support local filmmaking. That's fine. So there you go. Kyle Blake, everybody.
And Bear.
So now we're getting into round 2, which is premise pressure. Premise pressure, round 2. So this one, these are some of the premises. You guys can pass it around, and then each just throw a random premise. So we're going to give each contestant, we'll have some time on the clock here, 2 minutes on the clock of premises that are going to be thrown your way. So you have to take a premise. So if they say something about like mother-in-law, you have to then have a mother-in-law joke ready to go.
I'm good with that one.
All right, cool. So this is premise pressure. I'm going to set the clock at 2 minutes. If I can get my stopwatch to work here, that'd be great. And then we will do the premise pressure, folks.
But do we take turns?
It will be one at a time.
Okay.
So since you started the last round, we'll have Joe start this round off. So, comedy could certainly throw a lot of curveballs, and sometimes you have to think quick on your feet. So, round 2, premise pressure, we will see how fast these comedians are with a variety of premises. Each comedian will have 2 minutes to fire off punchlines with premises given to them by our
Oh
judges.
God.
So now I'm going to set the clock. Are you marks? Are you guys ready? I guess we'll just go Tony, Joe, Kyle, and then over and over again.
All right.
Until 2 minutes is up. Are you ready? Set. And go.
Bruce Jenner.
Bruce Jenner. Oh, Bruce Jenner. I remember the first time I got laid, she looked like Bruce Jenner. I remember it was in Donwood. It was in Brentwood in the treehouse. Okay? And to this day, every time I get a splinter, I still get a hard on.
Go, Joey. Give him.
Barking dogs.
Barking dogs. Do I got to give you a list of all my girlfriends? I mean, come on. There's too many to name, okay?
All right, Kyle.
Terrorism.
Terrorism. No, that's a tough one. Terrorism. I don't know. I don't follow politics much about the whole terrorism thing, but I will say this in defense, not necessarily terrorism, but in defense of Donald Trump being Puerto Rican. You know, I want to thank him because when we had those storms in Puerto Rico, okay, without him, we wouldn't have had paper towels.
Social media.
Social media. Oh, Facebook is it's a great thing. I love Facebook. You know, I remember writing somebody one time, this woman I know, and it was snowing out, and I said, "Shit, we got 9 inches over here." You know, and she goes, 9 inches. Next thing I know, she was sending me pictures of her tits.
Go ahead, Joey.
The Man on the Moon.
The Man on the Moon. The only thing I can think of when I think of the Man on the Moon is Jackie Gleason up there, okay, and the theme with it, and that's what I think of when I hear the Man on the Moon. Jackie was one of the funniest shows. 100%.
Skinny people.
Skinny people. Okay, that's it. Yeah, well, I used to be skinny. Okay, so I envy skinny people, but I don't know what to say about skinny people. Really, there's just there's something to be said about what do you call that? When you don't being you can't eat.
3,
you can't eat.
2, 1, and that's
All
the
right.
very
That's
good.
good.
Very good. That is
All right.
not easy to do. That is not easy.
No, I wasn't expecting that many. The last one's the one that gave me a little trouble. I was like, damn.
I was originally going to make it 5 minutes each.
Oh man. Jeez.
No, I'm just
Could have
kidding.
been 1 minute.
Let's go. We'll start with Kyle. Kyle, we'll give you guys a second to deliberate your scores, and then we'll go through that, and then.
I swear to that one. I swear to that one.
Am I going to get the same categories? Or
No,
different
they'll all
ones?
be random, different ones.
ones.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to suck at this one. I'm going to say, I got nothing.
That one I thought I only had to come up with
Next.
one joke. All of a sudden it's like, what?
Yeah, this is the premise pressure. Premise pressure. Wait till you got to go toe to toe with the Gagoots.
Uh-oh.
That's coming up. That's coming up. That's
What is
good.
a Gagoots?
Yeah, the Gagoots. I love the Gagoots. All right, judges, are you ready? Kyle, we'll start off with you.
All right, we're going to go an even 7.75. Big improvement on the other one. I thought the treehouse joke was fucking hilarious. The Jenner thing, the barking dogs thing was really funny. I think I tripped you up with skinny people and terrorism a little bit.
Yeah, terrorism, I had to reach a little bit.
Well,
for that
you
one.
took terrorism to Donald Trump, which was another one actually, and then the skinny people thing. But I loved the other ones, man. I thought they really landed, and you're like just being like, boom this, boom that. Like those were awesome.
Yeah,
So
I appreciate
yeah,
that.
like this one a lot more, and figure 7.5, so we could add the 2.5, and it'll be a nice even number.
Okay,
Nice. Good job. Okay.
thank you.
And Joey?
Well, I gave you an 8. I thought you were very quick on your toes, man. You look very relaxed, very comfortable. You didn't stutter at all. You did a little hamada for the Jackie Gleason on the Man on the Moon.
That's it.
Nice.
I did well done. Well done, man.
Excellent. And Tony Walker.
All right. Joe, I was impressed. That's not easy to do. Just topics, just throwing at you. I didn't really. There was no punchline with the Jackie Gleason thing, but that's all right because sometimes it's just provocative thought. You just want to
Jackie's just
get
funny.
thought.
So you think of Jackie Gleason, you laugh.
So I give you, not only did I draw a picture of you, but I give you a 9.5. 9.5.
Oh man,
I was impressed.
All right, so let's do the math on
photo
that.
of 10.
What's that?
I give your photo a 10. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I got to thank
So
you.
do,
I'm
what's the
erasing
total
here.
here?
15.75 plus, what was it, 9.5? So, fucking,
Well, you need a Vanna, Don. You need
I
a
know.
Vanna.
I know.
I mean,
You screwed up your whole theory there by putting a 975.
let's do this.
What's that?
What'd you say?
Plus,
What number?
what was yours?
9.5.
8.5. Maybe I should
I
start
suck at
this
it.
fractional.
I got a lot of ground on
Oh,
me.
yours
Yours
was just 8, right?
Mine was 8.
I got a lot of
Let's
ground.
play How Bad Is Kyle at Math?
Sally, you should be the Vanna. You should keep track of this.
We're now
75.
tallying up the score, and we're getting ready now for Bonnie. So, Bonnie, I want you
Oh,
to
I'm gonna
just,
bomb on
start
this
to
one.
focus.
No, you're not,
No,
Bonnie.
think
No,
positive
you're not.
thoughts, Bonnie. Positive thoughts. I want you to channel.
I got nothing, a good answer for
No, you channel. And you
25.25.
just give your best effort. Even if you just get one and it takes you the full 2 minutes, just try to get one premise done. I believe in you, Bonnie.
Well,
I do
that's
too.
one of us.
Here,
You got
think,
this.
think about what you've done so far in your career, Bonnie. You started stand-up 2 years ago, and in that time, you are producing your own show. You have your own radio show here on Gov's Radio.
But I'm not quick on my toes.
I think you are. Don't underestimate yourself. And are you ready? We're going to put you to the test.
All right.
This is the test. Now, Joe.
Can I cry?
There's no crying. But I'll tell you one thing. Joe definitely set the bar pretty high with this one. This is not
I had a
easy.
lot of ground to make up, man. I was like, shit, man, I'm gonna kick ass here. I got a lot of ground.
Yeah. So what was the
I think it's 25.25.
20. Yeah, let me write that down. You got that pen?
Yeah.
Don't cheat me out of
25.25.
anything there.
I'm not good at math.
Me either. That's why we're all doing this for a living. Well, none of us are mathematicians in this room.
That's why we're comics.
All right, guys, are you ready for Bonnie is going to do her premise pressure?
God.
And we'll start it off in 3, 2, 1, go.
Ex-husbands.
Oh, okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. My ex is Italian and Jewish, so he's so cheap he tries to extort money from himself. And he wanted me to be more forceful in bed. Well, I forced myself to have sex with him.
Nice. All right, Joey.
Vegan.
Okay, I am on the dating sites now, and my friend Kristen Tinsley is giving me the real vocabulary and what it really means. So she said if a guy says vegan on a dating site, that means he's got no money. He's busted. So vegan equals busted.
Okay.
Nice. Good.
Football.
Football sucks. And the ball is not round, so it gets even less points because it's like an oval kind of thing. I don't understand the game. My dad watched it all the time, and he would be like, I remember we'd go to restaurants, and he'd be like, "Oh, just one more minute," because like they say that in the football, all you have to do is wait, and then that 1 minute is a down or whatever, and we're sitting there like starving to death because the football game never ends. So football sucks.
That was it.
Cell phones.
Cell phones are interesting. They can make your life or break your life. So you take your cell phone, you stick it up your butt, and there's no, and
Remind me not
and
to
then you
borrow her.
dial it. You dial it, and it buzzes, and it reminds you of important data.
3, 2, 1. Very good. Very good.
I have no idea what I'm doing.
You did way better than you even anticipated. So you did great, Bonnie. I'm very proud of you. And now let's go to our judges. We'll start off with Joey Petroni. What do you got to say, Joey?
Well, the whole time I was sitting there thinking that this is funny, and it's naturally funny. You were naturally funny on that whole thing. It was just came to you very quick. Oh, yeah. So I gave you a 9.
Thank you.
I thought it was very well done. When you said football sucks, that was awesome.
That's my natural reaction.
Natural reaction. So very confident, very well done.
Thank you.
Excellent. Good score. All right, and we'll go Kyle, and then we'll go Tony.
I'm sticking with the 8, same from the first one. I thought your the ex-husband joke, great, funny. Do you
That's actually part
use
of
that
my
in
routine.
in your set? Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say because that one you pulled out Football, when you said football, I was like, oh, that's going to be a hard one. And then you said sucks. I would have just cut it right there.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the joke.
Should've
And
stopped.
just move on to the next one, because that was so, like, that was boom. That was right off the top. I would have just cut it there and moved on.
Yeah. I agree. I thought that's all you needed to say was football sucks. Bonnie, you're getting a 9.5 out of me.
Oh,
Bonnie.
thank you, Tony.
I'm the generous judge today, but you nailed it. You nailed it, Bonnie, and you were so hard on yourself, but you nailed it. I was impressed, and yeah, the ex-husband stuff was great. The football sucks. Yeah, I mean, you brought the room down on that one. So. That was great, Bonnie.
What's the
well
math
done.
again? We got
well
8,
done.
9.
8, 9, and 9.5. Okay, let me write that down. All right, so let's talk to our judges. Tony,
Yes, sir.
what do you think about them so far? Now we're in the middle of the game. What's your thoughts on these two? And just walk me through it.
I think they're both great. Joe, I've known Joe on Facebook for a long time, and I've seen some of the stuff he posts, and I know he's been around the comedy scene for a long time. I'm a fan, and same with Bonnie. Bonnie knows. Bonnie's, I love her show here. She's been a good guest of ours on our show, and she works hard, and I think they're both great.
Excellent.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.
How about you, Joey? Are they doing better, or what you expected, or how are they doing for you?
That second round right there, that round we just did,
Premise?
the premise round. That's a very tough thing to do, and I think you guys, both of you handled it really, really well.
Thanks.
What I see sitting here is likability. Both of you, likability. I'm pulling for both of you. Yeah, very likable comics. And,
Yes,
you.
that deserves an applause because they are likable people.
it's not going to be easy. Put it that way. It's not easy to score you guys because you got to put that aside and just go for the jokes. But Bonnie, like he said, football sucks. Period. The run-on sentence, you could have left that away, and you would have got a little higher score than 9.
Yeah.
But that's but you're doing great.
I was trying to let the clock tick down.
Yeah, 'cause I had gangrene coming. I was going to say gangrene.
Kyle, how about you? What do you think of them so far?
What you guys are doing is so incredibly hard, and it takes so much bravery to go up and to just do something like this, to be like, yeah, throw shit at me and like let me just react to it. I consider myself, what was it? I'm a comedian, like I write comedy, but I would never, maybe one day we talked about it.
Yeah,
but
he's going to.
don't have the balls to get up on stage and be a comic, and you two both have those balls, so
Well, technically, he's got the balls. I don't.
metaphorical balls, of course, the gusto to go out in there and do it.
You've been peeking, huh? You've been peeking down there, huh?
Speaking.
And something else that I'd have to say is, like, just from talking to everybody, I know we all like to keep it like light, but comedians seem to have like a serious side, and I know a lot of people, like you mentioned cancer, and you guys mentioned things like, I started doing comedy because my father passed away when I was in college, and I started making films like after that, and getting into it. I was going to go to law school, so it just seems like a lot of comics, like, this is sort of our therapy, our
Yes.
outlet.
You were going to go to law school?
I was.
And this is what happened?
Don't remind me.
Holy
You sound like my mother now.
Stop down at it.
You just
Now
lost
you
some
just
points.
lost points.
What's this? Yeah, what's this? You could have been done
Don't
in
insult
Columbia
the
by
judge.
now. Yeah.
You get a big fat zero.
No, I'm going to pay for that one later. I'm going to pay for that one later. I know.
But no, I think this is like therapy for everybody, and it's awesome that people can do it.
And Don, I say real quick that they're both having fun. It's obvious. Sitting here, they're both having a great time right now, and that's everything.
It'd be
That's
better
what
with
it's all about.
booze.
Yeah.
Hey, we got some
I bought a
Tito's.
bottle of Tito's.
There you go.
Sponsorship, Tito's.
So I just want to give you guys an applause again midway through that you guys are both, you showed up and you're doing our debut show here at GovsRadio.com, but also that you guys did bring the funny. You're not disappointing and you're doing your best. So thank you guys for being here.
We're the guinea pigs.
Yeah. And the next round, it's not going to get any easier, folks. The next round's going to be tough because the next round will test your comeback skills, if you will, your roasting skills.
I've never been heckled.
Yeah, so
This'll be interesting.
this round, when performing stand-up comedy, comedians should know how to handle hecklers and be able to roast a person at the drop of a dime. This round, these comedians will have to face off and trade insults with the Gagoots for 3
boy.
minutes. 3 minutes of insults each.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Oh my God.
He's going to insult us, and we have to respond.
3 minutes?
Yeah, so Gagoots,
Oh my God.
Gagoots will deliver an insult, and then you fire back.
Walk over there. Benny,
All right.
walk over
This
to
is
Bonnie
going-
if you can.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's get you
My
right
Bonnie
here.
lies all over the
We're
ocean.
gonna. You can move over here.
Should we turn one of these GoPros around to get the good goods?
Well,
He's going to get over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
if they can
Bonnie,
just
you're gonna go
swing it a
against
little bit.
Bonnie first.
What should I do? Move over?
Yeah, you move over, and then you're gonna face off against Bonnie.
Yeah,
So-
that's it. That's it. Just move over a little bit. You're fine. Yeah, then Benny, you're in the shot. You're good.
Okay. All
Benny.
right.
That's the shot. Okay.
I'm ready to go.
Hold on.
Hold
yeah.
on one second. I'm like very uncomfortable right here.
Wait, maybe we
me to
could.
get out of here,
Right,
then?
I think Bonnie should move over.
It's fine. It's fine.
We should maybe stand. I'm not sure.
Maybe I should stand. No, I'm
That-
good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we seeing the Gagoots?
No,
Yeah, we got
who's
'em.
going
Oh,
first? Who's going-
Okay, so the Gagoots is going to go against Bonnie first.
Okay.
I'm going to set the clock.
All right, wait. Can I say a couple of words? I'm very honored to be here. And people who don't know me, I'm Alfredo Gaguzza, celebrity chef. I usually cook. Don said, I want you to come. I want you to say a few things to some people. So I don't do insult. I do recipes. So tonight I got a recipe for agita. I got to give you a lot of agita. And I just want to say, for those of you, it is daylight saving time to save your daylights. So don't forget, you got to get behind, you got to get your clocks behind. Right? Don't forget to turn your clock behind, pinch your clock behind, do something to your clocks behind for about 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour.
Oh.
Maybe you might lose, you're going to gain an hour and you might gain an orgasm or two. So you're going to have a good time. All right, you want me to start, Bonnie?
Let me have
I
Joe
want some more
move a little
background on
closer
the
to me.
Gagoots.
And everybody move in a little more. I just want,
we
I
get
just
some more
want
background?
the
Can we
Gagoots.
get
Some more background on Alfredo
How did
Gagoots?
you meet Don?
Yeah, right there. It's good.
How'd you meet Don?
I met Don because I was a celebrity chef. I was cooking, and Don was in a restaurant nearby. He was in the Olive Garden, and I beat the shit out of that son of my beach. I say, you son of Don Amici, you don't eat here, you eat for me. And now I've been cooking for Don for a long time now.
He makes
And,
he makes great food, everybody. If you want to meet the bowls, the Gagoots.
Meet the balls, and Bonnie, I got a nice cream-filled cannoli for you. I'm no kidding. Let me tell you, I love her that joke. You told her that joke before. That joke was so good. Here's my phone number. Don't give it to nobody. Don't tell nobody. All right. Okay. All right. Do we start now?
Yeah, stand by. Okay, so we're gonna
Stand by.
we're gonna face off against the Gagoots. All right, and we're gonna start. It's 3 minutes now. This is gonna be this is either gonna go really fast or it's gonna take forever. We will find out. We'll find out shortly. And the start that we're gonna start with the Gagoots.
End of this time is everybody started to talk like a me.
We begin with the Gagoots fires first, and then Bonnie, and then after that, you just go back and forth like a tennis match. And then this will test your skills, Bonnie.
Oh, God.
Of roasting and firing back. Are you ready? And go.
Bonnie, if you didn't want a litter of kids, you should stop doing it doggy style.
Well, you know, dogs are, they know how to have fun. So wait, what was that?
Well, you're going to read my jokes?
Doggy style doesn't necessarily mean litters. But in your case, I'll make an exception.
Oh! I'm in love. Somebody give me a ring. Bonnie, you're such a bad cook that the last time you bake a cake, Betty Crocker got food poisoning. And then Jemima flipped her flapper jacks.
I might be a bad cook, but at least my mustache won't fall off into the cake and someone will choke on it.
Okay, hey, that's good because I heard you went into the plastic surgeon for a boob job and he removed half of your brain.
Well,
You get a boob, boobs and boob.
I have to say that is true.
The skeletons in your closet form their own support group.
Oh, okay. Let me think. I have more skeletons in my closet than you have cakes hidden in your pants.
Oh, right away for the pants. What do I got? Betty Boop called. She wants her ass back.
I'll be glad to give it back to her, but she has to come and she has to tell me that she's going to take your butt and beat it.
Bonnie, is it true you went to the school of a hard knocked up?
No, I went to the school of hardly knocked up.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I went to the same school. I went to school stupid. I came out of the same way. You're so dumb. You thought euthanasia was a Girl Scout troop in China.
Again, that's true.
All right, I'm pretty much out of the clean jokes. How much of time was
We got
that?
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Oh, all right. I'm going to have to use the bad one.
That's what the clean one?
No. I'm a no going to say it. Not for you, Bonnie. I'm going to use my last 30 seconds to say, Bonnie, that was very good. You could cook in my kitchen anytime if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Very good. Bonnie, have any last words? We got 8 seconds.
I've never had a heckler, so knock wood. If that's the worst I'm ever going to get, I'll be very happy with that.
Very nice. And that's your time. Very good. So, Bonnie, we'll have you just walk out.
Sure.
And then, Joe, you could stand where she was. And then it's your turn to battle against the Goose. But before we do that,
Okay.
should we score it?
Oh, yeah.
Or if you want to score them both at the end, how do you guys want to do it? We'll just do one at a time like we've been doing, right? That sounds good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we'll let them deliberate. Joe, what do you think so far, man? After seeing the Gagoots in action, are you nervous?
3 minutes seems like a bit. That might be a little lengthy. So I don't know if I got 3 minutes, but it's although that's my sex life, 3 minutes.
That's
Very good. There you go.
that's what she said.
That's it.
So what do you think of the Gagoots so far? Like, what do you think of his?
Am I starting here with the roasting now?
No, we're waiting for the judges to deliberate. But I just wanted to get what's going on in your mind right now when you saw what happened.
Well, joking aside, I love Benny. He's when he had his other show and he had me on there. He even I think Stevie Gibby was on the show when they were discussing my hair. And I was watching the show. And I was sitting there. Look at this. They're discussing my hair on this show. So his wife Nancy, great person.
Oh, Nancy rocks. Nancy is awesome.
So
Nancy, I'm a lover you.
Yeah, she's. I love
Alfredo
you too.
Gagoots loves the youths.
And Don loves you too, Nancy. Nancy's a big supporter of local stand-up comedy and all the comedians, and she's great, man. And I wish there was more people like her in the world, for sure, because she rocks. So Benny, you're a lucky man, my friend.
So is Alfredo Gagoots.
All right, judges. Let's start off with this time. We'll start with Kyle. Kyle, what do you think?
I'm going
Bonnie?
6. I think this was your weakest of the 3 sections. I think Gagoots was just coming over the top with haymakers. I mean, he, in fairness, had these prepped, and you did not have time to prep. So obviously, it's
That's
super
right.
hard. But I'm going to leave the door open for a comeback here. I'm gonna crack it open a little bit. Let's see how we go here.
All right, Joey.
It's funny, I agree with what you just said, but you handled yourself very well. You didn't break, you didn't crack, you didn't...
And I didn't punch him in the
You
face.
didn't punch him in the face. You were smiling the whole time. You were having a good time. He didn't shut you down. So I give you a 9.25. I was impressed.
Wow.
Thank you.
With the way you handled the Gagoots, I was very impressed. Because he was hitting you pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's you guys have a very unfair advantage, because Benny has time to prepare, and the contestants don't. But I do like how Bonnie tried to turn the tables on him and got, she insulted herself, and she even paid him compliments from time to time, or just flat out agreed with him, and if he didn't have time to prepare, he would have been thrown by that. But so I did admire the way she handled it. Although I didn't go as high as Joey, because I do feel there should have been more. She should have been giving more back at him, but I went 8.5.
Thank you,
Very
Tony.
nice.
Thank you, Bonnie.
I do want to. We got Tom Jude in the house. He's came here all the way from Buffalo to film our show today, our debut show, with his girlfriend. Nola, beautiful
Nola,
name.
sorry.
Nola came here. They're both from Buffalo, and they came out here all the way here to shoot this today. So, Tom, get on that mic for a second. Mike, Tom, What do you think so far of this show?
What do I think of the show so far? Your look is hilarious, man. I mean, you're gold. The Gagooch is the man. I don't know if I want to see the cannoli. I don't know if a woman ever wants to see the cannoli. Please keep the cannoli in the bakery and stick to making pasta and other good stuff.
I make a good lasagna too.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you do. Not the cannoli. And Miss, your name again, please?
Bonnie.
Bonnie. Fantastic stuff. Football doesn't suck, by the way. Since,
The Jets suck.
The Jets suck, but you know what? Football doesn't suck, right? Go back to those MBS
Tom is
days.
an avid NFL fan. He's a Giants fan, so he's a little upset, a little bitter, but that's okay. But I do want to thank you both for coming out here. I know it was a long hike to get here. I truly appreciate it. It's always good to see you. Much appreciated. So props to you guys. Thank you.
If I may, one quick thing. Your name again, sir?
Joey.
Are you a comic, or are you like are you not over the fact that Halloween's over with the look? Because like you're scary, bro. You are a very scary looking individual.
This is how I look on a daily basis.
He is the opposite of scary, though. Joey's the nicest guy, man.
Joey Petroni's a great dude, and I love him, man, and I think he looks freaking fantastic.
Thank you, man.
Yes,
Thank you.
indeed. Yes, indeed, brother.
The bow tie is fresh.
Yeah, well, I was
The
going to be a judge tonight.
bow tie.
he dressed
I'll
up
give
for
you
the
that. The
occasion.
bow tie is fresh, man.
I'm usually wearing an Iron Maiden shirt. But
Oh, yes. Judas Priest.
Excellent.
The phone is ringing.
So now we will move on.
You want to take a call?
Can't take calls right now, unfortunately. But leave comments, only positive ones, though, please.
That's right.
This is our debut show. Give us a little wiggle room.
Let's hear for Sally in the engineering.
Yes, Sally. Also, yes. Thank you so much for coming out. And
My pleasure.
And being. What do you think, Sally? What are you thinking so far of the show?
I would be like, I would think it would be really nerve-wracking to do that,
I know, right?
to come up with something. It's really difficult. I'm like sweating for them.
Yeah, it's a lot of off the cuff, off the top exercises. They only had one to prepare for, and that was hard too. So it's been difficult the whole way through. But now, Joe, are you ready?
As ready as I can be.
He's going to face off against the Gagoots. We've been holding off on. Do we have the score for that last one?
No.
I think it was.
Wait, was someone trying to call in? They can call into the show?
Yeah, people can call in, but we'll take calls in a little later. If we have time at the end, we'll take some calls.
We got no time for you.
I will let everyone know when the phone lines are ready to rock, and we would love to have your phone calls.
That's actually not a bad.
hilarious.
That's actually a round you can have. People can call in and they
They could
see
call
how
in.
they handle the
Yeah, I
caller.
like that. See, that could be
nice.
that could be an extra round where the caller calls in and
Engagement.
challenges the. And they challenge you to something. So why not? Why not at least have everyone challenge you guys today?
23.75.
So that's 20. That was for Bonnie. So 23.75, right?
What a mess.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out this. The scoring system's gonna get fitter also.
I am far from a mathematician.
All right. So I do want to say hello to my fiance Wendy, who's watching right now, and Sophia, and all my kids if they're watching. Just text me, let me know, like they did. Love you guys.
Only the nicer things.
All right. And now you might have to. Sophie might have to cover her ears because it's time for the Gagoots and the roast battle. And Joe will have to face off against the Gagoots for 3 minutes. This isn't going to be easy, folks. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Set and roast.
Joe, who let you out of the kitchen and who's washing dishes in your place right now?
Okay, well, Benny, really, Halloween is over, so I don't know what this is all about, but, you could put that stuff away now.
I'm imported from Sicily. You didn't know that? I'm imported.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Made in Sicily, assembled in the United States, which is why I'm a little crazy.
I know you're talking a lot about your cooking here and how good it is. I sure as hell, it's funnier than your jokes, or better than your jokes.
Someone's talking to me. You look like a Puerto Rican caveman.
In Puerto Rico,
It's so easy a Joe Capella can do it.
That's right, in Puerto Rico. That's too easy a target. No. Somebody just called me Irish. Okay, I think you probably told him about the size of my dick, right?
Irish with that hair? The last time I saw hair like that was when I made a pee-pee.
And I guess at your age, that's probably every 10 minutes, right?
That's a true. I can't lie with that. I'm a peeing right now. Bonnie want to know why is it so wet over here? I don't know. Joe Capella's sweating. He said, well, you would sweat too if you had a trunk full of hubcaps.
Okay, yes. Benny. When are you going to get contacts? Get rid of those glasses. They make you look old. Oh, that's right, you are old.
Oh, all right. Hey, you know the reason there's a human race is because humans are racing away from you. You son of a bitch.
I've seen all your shows that you do and these type of things, and I always wonder why is he doing all these things. But the reason is Nancy just wants to get rid of you out of the house.
You've been with me 10 minutes and you want to get me out of the house. Speaking of houses, I heard you rented a house that was haunted and the ghost complained to the landlord about you. Playing that salsa music. The parties. There's 60 Mexicans in the basement.
I'm surprised you know about salsa music. I don't think you don't look like you can dance. You don't look like you can dance. I want to hear some Frank Sinatra from you. That's what I want to hear.
Joe, you got the brain of a Mama Luke, and he's happy you stole it from him.
Well, it's I got a big brain in there, okay? But you don't know it because I got so much hair, unlike you.
Oh, hey, what are you You son of Donamici, you son of a bitch.
All right, the last word, 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Joe, your crotch is a condo for fruit flies.
Benny, I like this shirt. What thrift store did you buy it at?
I bought it from an army.
And that
the Salvation Army.
Wow. Oh, that was great.
Very good.
Hey, that is time.
Very good.
Great job, both of you. All right, the Gagoots. Stand by. I want to talk to you after we hear from our judges, Gagoots.
Free pizza for everybody.
Joe, how did that feel? Did you feel like you got some steam off?
It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, and the 3 minutes went pretty fast,
They
right?
went pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah.
And, so that was it. It was different. It's very challenging, and it's a learning experience, actually, as a show.
Yeah.
I don't get heckled much either, so it's kind of, you got to think quick on your feet. And,
Yeah. No, you did awesome. You definitely held your own, and now we're going to pull to the judges. We'll start off with Tony Fresh, and let's see.
I thought Joe held his own very well and kept up with the Gagoots. I give him a 9.
Nice.
Thank you.
Joey.
Joe, I gotta tell you, man, you impressed the hell out of me.
Oh, okay.
I'm sitting over here, and for a second, I was thinking Don's gonna have to step between the two of you. I'm wondering how much is the Goots gonna take before he clocks you. You did a great job. I gave you a 10. That's a home run, man.
Oh, nice.
All right, I got to go on the ground to make up here.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I thought that was your strongest round, and I thought you did a really good job, kind of holding your ground, remaining calm.
Okay.
And the you must piss a lot counterpunch. I mean the room was dying, like that just exploded the room. Like that was perfect. I thought you were really close on like a couple other counterpunches too, but I'm going 9.
Wow,
that was
nice.
Awesome.
Thank you.
That was your best round.
Appreciate it. Oh, you second.
Nice job.
That would be a 28.
28.
That was easy.
She knew his calculator.
Even the judges
There
are
were no
learning
points
no more
involved,
point.
so,
Yeah.
I was getting nervous, man. I thought you were gonna clock Benny.
Gagoots, for you, how did it feel? What do you think? Hey, you get to the microphone here and
Hey, how about this? I got a mic.
Okay, cool.
I got the biggest mic in the room. That's why Bonnie wants my phone number. All right. As of the Gagoots, I got to tell you, it was a lot of fun. I liked it. But of the judges, they said I had the advantage. Think of this. The next show, I got to write another 30 freaking jokes. I can't use it. If you say, oh, he said that joke the first show. He said that. I need 30 new insults. Good luck with that. Yeah.
You're right about that, Benny.
Sweet Santanucci.
The pressure's going to be on you.
Sweet state.
Even when I told the Gagoots it was going to be 3 minutes, I think I told them earlier, yesterday or today, and there was just silence.
3 minutes.
First time ever, it was silence.
Mark that down in your calendar. We make a national holiday. Gagoots was a quiet day.
So
All right,
Gagoots,
thank you. It's an honor.
thank you, Gagoots.
Okay.
We love our special visit from
Ravioli for everybody. Ravioli. I make a nicer dinner for you.
Yes.
I ever catch you at the Olive Garden again, I break your arms and legs. I break the arms and legs of people you don't even know, you son of a bitch. People you're going to meet tomorrow.
No Olive Garden for me, I promise.
Credit to him. Credit to him. He's like a godfather. Before the podcasting and
Yes.
streaming, he was doing this stuff, back in the cable access days.
The
right?
Gagoots, man.
The Gagoots.
Thanks to this man right here.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
You guys rock, man. I love you guys. I'm so happy we're all back together again. The gang is back, folks. All right, so we'll move back down here. We got our contestants up on stools, so they stand out amongst all of us.
Yeah, I have to climb onto the stool.
And as we get settled back, let's. So Joey, you do the most actual stand-up, and I know Tony, you probably might face hecklers too in what you do.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So we'll start with Joey, and then talk to you, Tony, about hecklers. Joey, when was the first time you had a heckler, and were you prepared, and how did you deal with that?
There's probably all different ways of handling a heckler. I just ignored them. I ignored the heckler, or I'd come back at him over the head and embarrass him in front of his date, But,
Was there ever a time when the heckler actually insulted you, like hurt your feelings?
Not really, because for me personally, when I'm doing comedy, I don't look at it as myself. It's not that they don't really know anything about me. I mean, if they were to come after me and say something personal, then yeah.
Right, yeah.
You're coming after my act. I don't give a crap if you like my act. I mean, a band writes a song. A lot of people like the song. A lot of people hate the song. You know what I mean? What's funny for one person might not be funny for someone else. So I actually respect the heckler on that aspect.
Right.
I get it, but you're not gonna make everybody happy. You walk into a room, most of the time, 80% of the room is gonna like you, and 20% are gonna hate you. So look at the 80%. Sometimes you get one smile in the front row. Look at that guy. Hecklers make me stronger.
Yeah.
They do. They make me stronger. They make me they make you stronger and quicker, like these guys were. You got to be quick on your toes, man.
When I was working in hockey, we did live shows, and sometimes we get criticized. At the time, it was on Twitter or whatever. People just be like, the show, the videos, or the music or whatever, and they would just slam us. And then you have to go. Like played music during the games, and then I'd read a thread of people putting down the music I'm playing, which was at the time Nickelback.
Right.
Back when they were still cool, but just starting to become uncool. Right. I don't know how that started. Why did they stop? What happened to Nickelback? Anyway.
They were never cool. Sorry.
But I had to go back on the show. That I talked to one of the show, the play caller guys. His name's Chuck Caton. He's in the NHL Hall of Fame. And Chuck told me, Don, you got to play for the masses, not for the asses. So that's what I always. So that's the thing. Always play for the masses, not for the asses. So if there's one asshole in the crowd,
don't let them destroy you.
Don't let him get the majority of the rest of them.
And they're usually an unhappy person who's got some kind of personal issues themselves, and they're taking it out on you.
Or they're drunk.
What's the worst heckler story? Do you have one in particular?
Not really. They all blend together, to be honest with you. I mean, a heckler is a heckler for me. The best way to deal with a heckler is just to make them look like the idiot. I try not to go over the top where you look like an idiot, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you out of character. They're trying to throw you off your game. And if you come across, you can even become friendly. You can actually befriend. Is it called befriend a heckler?
Yeah, right.
Which makes the whole thing backfire in their face.
Right.
You could get a round of applause out of a heckler. You get
if you handle them right.
Yeah, and then the guy's faces be red.
I don't mean to cut you off, but funny story about befriending a heckler. One time when I first started out, I got a heckler who thought it'd be cool to heckle my hair.
Yeah.
And that was like a setup, man. That was just like, you just opened the door for me.
Right.
And then at the end, he goes, that was cool, And it was just like, hey, thanks for being my straight man.
Yeah.
So,
nice.
I mean, you got to know also when the heckler's in the audience, there's no way that guy is going to come up here and do what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? They're a coward, basically, most of them.
Yeah, they just hide in the shadows.
Yeah.
Throw out a couple bombs at you.
Yeah.
And then duck hide.
Yeah. And heckling is also a form of jealousy, because they're upset that you're making people laugh, and they're sitting there and they just got to somehow get themselves involved in it, and they want to prove that you're not funny, But negative people are everywhere. I DJ too, and I walk in, I ask the bride and groom, what song do you want to come in on, and the woman will say something like, something upbeat, and the husband will say, "How about hell's bells, pal?" You piss people off with the way you look, But once people are dancing, once people are laughing, they're with you. So you got to prove them wrong.
And always be yourself.
Be yourself.
Like you
Don't
said,
change out. Don't let
yeah.
them knock you, man.
Yep.
Back in the day, I'd put my hair in a ponytail and be like, all right, and, just be yourself, man. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. Who cares? There's a million people in the world, They don't like it, they don't hire you.
True indeed.
So, I always look at Facebook. You put up a joke. I only need one smile. I don't care. The next morning, there's one smile under that joke. That's all I need. I don't need to have 50,000 people my kids do that crap, Dad, I got 5 likes last night. I'm like, oh, good for you. I got one smile. Let's go out and get the bagels. Same crap.
Hey, you got me at bagels. You had me at bagels.
I just need to know that it's funny, and it just takes one person to let you know that it's funny.
Right on, man. Good stuff, Joe.
Thank you.
Now, Tony, you do a whole different style of comedy. You're actually like dinner theater, murder mysteries. You're out amongst the people while they're eating and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In character, some wacky characters, some more.
Rednecks, mobsters, drunk characters. Yeah.
And now you're amongst people eating, drinking. I would think it's more susceptible, maybe, to heckling.
Well, and you nailed it. When they're eating, I've been doing it for almost 25 years, and that's one thing that I tell everybody, my potential clients, pretty quickly. If we can avoid performing when we're actually eating dinner, can we figure that out? Because we'll come out before.
It's impossible to get laughs when someone's like.
Well, that's the thing. It's not even the laughs. It's just because we're interactive. We're not up on a stage. If it was dinner theater like that, where you're just watching a stage production while eating, that's okay. But we're interacting. Our performers, we're not on the stage. We walk around through the tables. We joke around with the people. We go off script constantly so we can react to whatever's going on. So, yeah, when they're eating, they don't, I'm eating. Don't bother me now. Plus, I don't know if the stand-up guys experience this or not. I definitely do in the type of comedy I do. Get them fed ASAP. Because if we're starting a show, people come on a Friday, actually, no matter what time, no matter what day of the week, if we're starting a show at 8 o'clock and they haven't been fed yet, they're pissed.
Yeah.
So you're battling that. You have to be funny on top of your. It's an extra battle, and we've done it. We've done plenty of shows where we'll do the show. We start the show. They haven't eaten yet, and they're all grouchy. They're just sitting there. They're pissed, and we stop the show at a certain point because we know if they eat now, when we start back at this particular spot, we're going to get them. So we tell the kitchen, the staff, all right, we're stopping in 10 minutes, whether you like it or not. Make sure that kitchen's ready. And most of the time it works out. They bring the food out, at least an appetizer or something, and then they eat dinner. We come back out and they're happy, and we got it. So.
And it's also like the over enthusiastic, like when they're fed and they're happy and they're having such a great time, like because we're so close. We sometimes will sit on their lap and stuff, and they'll like get up and pick you up and twirl you around, so
right.
as like a performer, you're used to being on stage where you have that protection, but like what Tony does is, they're like women will take their shirts off. It's like it gets to be like really crazy,
That hasn't happened at all.
Say what?
It has happened. It has happened.
Yeah, like we'll do like fireman shows and they'll like pick people up. It's crazy.
Wow,
yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's really good.
do, yeah. we
Because
have a
you're
blast.
right in the mix. There's no stage.
yeah.
You're in it.
Right
so
there,
you're with
yep.
the people, which is cool.
I
Because,
love it.
Yeah, you're interactive and it's
Yeah.
cool. I've seen the show a few times. Always great. Never disappoints.
Thank
It's
you.
a different show every time because you never know how the people are going
Right.
to react. And
Well, and that keeps it fresh for the performers. Yeah. But there are, and it's funny working here. You talk to a lot of the comedians, and we do that. A lot of us do it. We'll talk about, wow, what a great crowd it was. There was 200 people and they were laughing, but there was just one guy. That one. And you need to just kind of get that out. I hated that guy. He said this and he was a prick. You get that out and then you're done. You get to go
Then
back
you
to
enjoy
what a
it.
great show it was.
Right.
But I also, just 2 weeks ago, I also, there's a local farm here on Long Island, White Post Farms. You
yes.
were nice enough to come see me. I'm the host. I'm like a glorified Walmart greeter, basically.
But you're dressed as a farmer on the
Dressed
farm.
as a farm. I'm making the announcements, what's going on. I'm joking. I'm messing with people as they're walking around. I got a mic. The whole farm can hear me picking on people and making announcements. Bonnie was nice enough to come see me, too. But there was a guy 2 weeks ago. He was a really tall guy, and he had a hat, right? And he had straight blonde hair that ended like right here. and it reminded me of Tom Petty. You know, that was kind of like the style of his hair. Nothing else about this guy looked like Tom Petty. It was just the hair. So as kids would come in costume, and kid dressed as Superman. Oh, look, everybody, Superman's here. I make the jokes. And so I see this guy, and I said, everybody, Tom Petty. Everybody say hi to Tom Petty. And he just kind of gives me this look, and he leans in. So no, he's going to say something. So I put the mic in his face, and he goes, "I take that as an insult, fuckhead."
Oh.
I'm like, it's a fun,
Family
it's
fun.
a family
Yeah,
kid
pumpkin
place.
fun, yeah.
I'm like, all right, fine. If you didn't like it, that's cool, but to go that far with it, like you said, some things are funny to some people, some things aren't. That's cool, and we experience that in our murder mysteries too. If you don't like what we're doing, I get it, but you don't have to be so mean about it. We've had run-ins with people at murder mysteries too, where they're just mean about it. If you don't like it, just sit there, get through it, or find a good spot to duck
avoid
out.
it, right.
This guy, there was no reason for this guy to curse at me on the mic in a children-friendly place, and if it was somewhere else, I might have had more words to say to the guy, But it really kind of throws you for a second. You gotta be on top of your game and not really let it affect what you're doing.
You have to have the skin very thick.
Yeah.
And deal with it and let it roll. And it's not always that easy, but
No.
but professional. Being 25 years, being in you've been about 20 years or so, right?
Oh, yeah.
So having that kind of time and dealing with all kinds of crowds and all kinds of people, you kind of start to develop a thick skin. Now, Kyle,
The equivalent, I guess, for film would
Yeah.
be like having a film that just bombs, like in the theater, which I've had like a few times. I mean, even like J City Heights, like people who get comedy like it, but we actually had to get into like kind of a stuffy film festival, like where it's all about like, this is this sad story and this melodramatic story, and they did not like it at all.
all of a sudden the talking bear and
I'll suck your dick and the whole killing the prostitute thing and all the
yeah.
shit that's in there. And it was like, a few women in the back, and they just did not like it at all. And the
And you
guy,
have to sit there and watch this reaction.
you're watching
Yeah.
it with them. I'm
Yeah.
sitting in the way back, and then you go up for a Q&A after. And the film, I mean, check it out, but it's got, killing and squibs and a lot of sex and dick sucking and, all that stuff. And, like, they did not like it. And so I got up afterwards, and the host, the guy who's, like, running the festival, is like, oh, we saw a lot of film. And he went down the line to each person. And he's like, your film made me cry. Your film made me laugh. And then he got to me and he's like, and this guy made a weird movie. And
Oh, my
and
goodness.
I was up there on stage, and we've killed it like other festivals. And I was just like, all right, like, thanks for having us, man. Like, what do you say? You're just like, fuck. All right. They didn't like it, tough crowd. So, yeah.
But whenever you throw your art out there,
Yeah.
whether it's a movie, a live show, a stand-up show, you're always putting yourself out there, your art, to be critiqued or criticized, or people don't get it or they don't like it. And I think that dealing with that and having these stories is part of the fun. I think in a way.
Yeah,
it sucks
yeah.
at the moment,
Sure.
but yeah.
It's definitely all learning tools. It does make you better.
Well, I think someone like that saying your movie was weird, right? He's looking to get a rise out of you. I think a lot of people are just provoking you just to get you off your game. He's happy. He just did a film. He's proud of himself. People are shaking his hand. A great job. Certain people don't like that, man. You know what I'm saying? They want to get you off your game. They want.
Yeah,
I
just
have a
wanna
lot
do
of, like you said, I was a nice guy, right? I have a lot of people who try to, at work or wherever I am, they try to break that. See, I told you he was nuts.
Right,
See,
yeah,
what they do is they hound the hell out of you, and then when you break out a character, they get you on video, and your whole life comes down to those 3 seconds where you flip out at a film festival because the guy said your thing was weird.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's all the
So
that's
no
the headline.
response.
That's
No
the
response.
caption.
No
Yeah.
response is the best way,
Yeah.
man.
Yep, that's it.
They're looking for-
Because then you
they're
make
looking-
them look stupid.
Well, and
by
then,
not
by,
responding.
reacting to it, like I got laughs from the few people that did
Yeah,
like
good
it. And, like
response.
some of my friends who were
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
crowd, and I was like, I mean, if you want to see it, it's on J City Heights. That kind of did
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a little plug at the end, and he was
I-
just like, "Fuck you, dude."
I've also noticed too. Sometimes people will just have a fuck it moment. If they're getting heckled, or if they feel they're bombing, or it's not going right, you just kind of get fuck it, and you just kind of roll with it, and then you just stop caring.
Right.
And I remember Joe DeVito actually told me a story once where he just broke up with a girl. He was really heartbroken. He didn't feel like he could do his bits that night, and he just started talking about losing the girlfriend. And he ended up having this nice open conversation with this crowd, and it was like a big, like they loved it. You know,
Therapy session.
Yeah.
Right. And I know, actually, I don't know if you want to talk, but I do remember a story with you years ago when you were doing your stand-up for a room full of gay men.
Oh man, I bombed bad.
But you had this fucking attitude, and you.
I did. I became
and you
like
just
a.
didn't care.
I became like a bad wrestler. I went up there, and at the time, you got to remember, this is like late '90s when the show Oz. Remember that show Oz?
yeah.
So the show Oz was out, and there was a lot of male frontal nudity. So I was like, "Has everybody seen Oz? There's a lot of cocks in that thing." You know, I was like, because of that show, the crime rate in the gay community has skyrocketed.
Oh, God.
All these gay guys get us with the homosexual sex in there, and then so I'm going on, and they're all like, you know. Call me Dorothy and send me to Oz. I'm guilty as charged, and all this stuff. And then I'm doing my jokes, and I start seeing the crowd getting up and leaving, walking out. And I'm sitting there now, the flop sweat. How do I get out of this?
Right.
And I look over, and I can see the backstage. This is in like Stony Brook, and I see this line of about like 6 more comics waiting to go on after me. And this is what Saad. Remember Saad, Sarah Warner, and all those guys were there. And I think it was like Tim Gage or somebody, and they're like, they see the crowd leave, and they're like, so now I feel like an asshole. So I go, don't leave, it's all right, I'm getting off the stage. That's why I got like a bad wrestler. I was like, I'm going, you guys suck anyway. And I storm off the stage. And I walk past everybody, and I see all the comics just like looking. They're all like disgusted with me, and that hurt worse than the crowd hating me. Yeah. So then I just went home and then kicked the dog a little bit, and then.
Those are the battle wounds that you'll never forget. And I got to tell you, those are the best days, man. You know, I love doing this now.
Yeah.
Those stories back then, they made us who we are. You know.
Yeah.
But do you want me to kick Gage's ass for you for acting that way?
No, I still think Tim Gage is a great comic. I want to get him on the show.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
I love all those comics, man. Saad Sarwan, I don't know if he's still around, still doing it. I haven't heard from him in a minute, but it would be great to get those guys back in the mix. Again, this was like the late 90s, early 2000s when I was doing stand-up, and I had that epiphany moment where I was like, I don't think I'm good at this. And then I stopped, but and it was pretty much after that bomb, I was never quite the same. That's why I was asking about recovering from bombs, because it's hard to do that. It's hard to get back up on that stage with your confidence dented. So, but that leads us now to you guys. Your 3-minute stand-up sets. I've been waiting for this
3 minutes
all night.
I don't remember being told that.
Oh! Well, guess do your best
I have
3.
like 6 minutes.
You had 6 minutes?
Yeah.
You have
5 and a
6?
half.
I could do 6, but I mean, I got I just
Like
We-
5 and a half.
tried to keep it around 3. But,
We could do if you guys are both in agreement, we could do 5.
yeah, I got a problem.
5 minutes each. All right.
It's not gonna, like, you're not going to count the timing like exactly, are you?
No, it's going to be timed.
Okay.
We're timing it because this is a legitimate show.
We get a little heads up.
I also want to say
We get a little heads up. We get a little heads up.
Yeah, I'll tell you when we got 30 seconds. When we're at 30. I do want to say one thing. My brother Greg Sill's watching. He said that Billy Joel went to White Post Farms. Were you there that day he showed up?
Sally and I were there.
Oh, cool.
We don't want to talk about it.
We were. They have an area at White Post where you can have a private party, private rooms, and they have children's birthday parties. So there was an area by these private rooms. Somebody had the private room, and then they kind of cornered off some of the area where an area of the farm, some of the animal farm where some of the animals are. But it's not uncommon for them to do that. So nobody really thought anything of it. Just another birthday party. In fact, most of the employees didn't even know. And then the next day, they posted a photo of Billy Joel and his daughters, at White Post Farm celebrating the birthday. And where they took the picture, if you went just 100 feet past them, that's where I am.
Oh man! So the whole day, you were 100 feet away from Billy?
Well, yeah. I don't know how long he was there, but yeah, however long he was there, I was 100 feet away from the man and had no clue.
But it's fair to say that Billy heard you go here. Billy heard
for
it.
sure.
And he may have even heard the guy who took the mic and said, "You're a fucking asshole."
It might have been that same day.
And then he said, "Holy crap! I think that's my friend Tom Petty."
Yeah, he's like, "Is Petty?"
Tom Petty's here.
So maybe it's a good thing, that he didn't see the face of who was annoying him with the yeehaws all day. But
No, that's crazy how he could be there and nobody know. Like that's some crazy.
Sally and I actually have had the pleasure of meeting him. Three times.
We have nothing. We have nothing to complain about because we have met him.
To the point where one of his people actually said to us, "No, he knows who you are."
Oh,
Which,
wow.
I don't
That's
know about
pretty
that,
crazy.
But yeah, it was crazy.
'Cause I know you're friends with some of his bandmates, right?
Yes. Yeah, I know a lot of his the guys in his current band and former band.
But we met him independent of that. We went by his motorcycle shop and the mechanic let us in to see his motorcycles and he ended up talking to us for like Billy Joel for like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Super guy, and we're both from Hicksville, where he's from, so we had a lot of that.
That's
stuff
pretty cool.
in common.
I tell everybody again. I lived in the South for like 16 years in North Carolina and Georgia, and I always tell everybody that Billy Joel is our Bruce Springsteen.
Sure.
He's like he's a made man here on Long Island, and we love him. Probably love him a little bit more than you love Bruce. No, I'm just, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I do.
He's
I
Jersey,
do
he's a
think I'm
Jersey.
a Jersey guy. I love both guys, but Long Island, you got something special.
Well,
everyone's got a special heart on
Bruce
for
is
Billy Joel here.
the best. I think the best concert I've ever seen was Bruce Springsteen, 1999. I had 9th row center. It was a religious experience, man. I couldn't believe how good this was.
Yeah,
Wow.
and Bruce still puts it on. He moves a lot better
yeah.
than Billy. I've seen them both recently, and like Bruce is out there running, and he
Yeah.
still does P90X or whatever.
Right, and Billy's like 2 inches away from a wheelchair.
Billy he got like his fingers are fat now. It's just like,
He looks like Uncle Fester, so basically, yeah.
I pass Billy Joel's house in Hicksville. I pass it so many times that the lady that lives there knows me.
She just moved, actually. She's
Did
a
she?
friend of mine.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Oh, nice.
She used to post all the time on Facebook, "Please stop taking pictures of my house," because it's his childhood home.
Oh.
This poor girl, she just moved out of there.
I used to drive by with blasting Piano Man or something. You know.
Oh, it's gonna be a horrible house to move.
I don't even know if I
into.
was
know,
doing it
right?
because I like Billy Joel, or because I was just being crazy. You know, I was just driving down the block playing "Moving Out." Or something.
Hey, you and everyone else.
All right, it is time, folks. It is time for the comedy once again to ensue. Bonnie and Joe. Let's do a quick little rock, paper, scissors, see who goes first amongst you two. You guys know how to play rock, paper, scissors?
Not really.
You go 1, 2, 3, shoot, and either throw scissors, paper, or rock.
Okay.
And then whoever wins goes first. Or gets the call whether they want to go first or second, all right? You have the option. So we'll do one rock, paper, scissors. Ready, set, and go. Scissors loses, rock
I
wins.
got it with my nail.
Joe, what do you want to do? First or second?
I'm going to punt.
Sorry.
I'll let Bonnie start it.
Oh, thank
Bonnie will
you.
go first. Bonnie, you have 5 minutes. Are going to be on the clock.
I might end a little early if that's all right.
Yeah, so this is the best 3
Because-
minutes.
I did part of it already in one of my answers, so I won't do that again.
Right.
Okay.
This is round 4. Let me tee it up. Round 4. It's the time we've all been waiting for. This is where we get to see the best 5 minutes that each comedian has. This is their stand-up set. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Bonnie Scalisi.
Hi, everybody. All right. So, I'm going to confide in you. I'm going through a midlife crisis, for real. So I'm seeing a therapist, and I had sex with him. Now he needs therapy. So I am a retired kindergarten teacher of 35 years. I'm only 32. Every day school was so chaotic. It was like, Billy, stop running around. Samantha, take your finger out of your nose. And Mikey, stop crying. And that was just the faculty lounge. And it's hard for me to stop being a kindergarten teacher now in my regular life. So I'd be having sex with my husband. I'd be like, ooh, your face is going to get stuck like that. And, another thing is I used to be really overweight. I lost 80 pounds.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, I was so fat that at my school there were only 2 skinny men. So they asked me to play Santa. Which I thought was weird because I'm Jewish. And one of the fattening foods that I love to eat that got me so fat is bacon. I know that there's a special place for me in Jew hell or as I like to call it, Florida.
Nice.
So now that I'm retired and I have time for myself, I actually go to the nail salon. I'd never been before. And while my nails were drying, she started giving me a back massage. Yeah. A back massage without having to give anything in return. I had to stop my automatic response to kneel down and give her a blowjob. That's a marriage joke. You know, I told my friend Sally I don't masturbate. And she said, why? I said, between the controlling husband and my autistic kids, I'd rather do heroin. So I'm going to tell you that I take things at face value. For instance, I was surprised that Kids Gap didn't sell children. I was disappointed when I went to Dick's. Let's see what happens when I go to BJ's. You know, most stores are geared for men. BJ's and Dick's. How about a store called Rub Your Feet and Fix Your Own Dinner? You know, the best part about getting divorced is I'm not going to have a mother-in-law anymore. She hated me. She picked on everything I did. So I picked an old age home and stuck her sorry ass in there. What do liberals and my mother-in-law have in common? What? They both won't shut the fuck up. Top 4 reasons why I hate my mother-in-law. Reason number 4, because she's a selfish bitch. Reason number 3, because she's a selfish bitch. Reason number 2, she was always insulting me. And the number 1 reason why I hate my mother-in-law is because, everyone, she's a selfish bitch. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I have in the trunk of my car. I've got Xanax and my mother-in-law. How much time is that?
You're at 3:14.
I skipped a couple of things. You want me to go back?
Yeah, you got 2 more minutes, pretty much.
Okay.
Go back like it's a tape.
Okay, so I'm getting older, you know, and sometimes I have to buy lubrication. So I'm using Crisco oil. No, it's great. When my ex used to grab me for lubrication, I'd slip away. You know, I am very naive and trusting. So I was driving the other day, and this stranger motioned me to pull over. He said my tires need to be pumped up. 2 hours later, I was pumped up all right at the Pine Motors Lodge.
Yeah, 1 more minute to go.
So I told you I have 2 autistic children, and this woman actually comes up to me and she says, is there a difference even between autistic and retarded? So I told her, well, my kids are autistic, you're retarded. You know, I am writing a book for parents who are raising autistic children. It's called You Clean the Shit Off the Walls. That's an autism joke. Okay, that's all
right, very good. Bonnie Scalisi.
Nice.
Thanks.
She's great, everybody. I enjoyed that set. We're going to let the judges deliberate. How do you feel now, Bonnie?
I screwed it up.
What part do you feel like you screwed up?
I thought I was running late. I mean, going over, so I skipped some stuff. And then I tried to go back, and then I left a few things out.
But did you find it, like, in a smaller room like this, was it more challenging than on a stand-up stage, or was it
No, I like
easier?
it better.
This is more intimate setting?
Yeah. I get more nervous on the stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool. You did great. I enjoyed it. What I liked about it, too, is you kind of went personal, like your personal life in there. And that's the true sign of a real comedian, is someone who kind of shows you who they are. Let's start off with Kyle. Kyle, what do you think? And what do you give the score?
I thought you did great. I thought you brought your sweetness, definitely came through.
Thank you.
And bringing it back to your own life is great. I thought it was awesome. I'm gonna leave the door open a little bit, but I'm gonna go 9.5.
Ooh,
thought it was
thank
great.
you.
I would think my one knack would be what I really like about certain comedians is that when they're saying their jokes, it looks like they just thought of it like at that moment. And I know, you had your paper and stuff, but like one of the things that, to me when I watch like an ace comedian is it's just like, oh, I'm thinking of this right now.
I have such a bad memory.
Yeah, I don't know if that's rehearsing or what that is, but I thought if you did that,
I think it's called, what is it called when I have the short-term memory?
Yeah.
So, like, it takes me, my 90-year-old father, I make him sit with me, and he has the script, and I'll just do it over and over and over again. And the poor guy is like, "No, you messed up the line again," or something. And I just do it over and over. It doesn't come easy for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's tough.
All right, Joey, what do you got?
Well, I got to tell you, Bonnie. You got me again. I'm going to give you a 10. I know I'm.
Whoa!
Thank you, Joey.
Now, this is nothing other than I'm looking at a sweet, innocent woman sitting there. And I'm laughing a little extra because of the stuff coming out of your mouth.
I used to call her a cunt in my film.
And there it is.
And my friend John Alvera goes, "That's gold.
That's
you
gold.
got to keep
That's
that in
gold.
there
Yeah.
because people don't expect you to.
You
come."
don't expect
But
it.
That's a little rough, I think.
Yeah, that's you know what that maybe 1 out of 5 sets would be great, but I don't know, man, because a lot of women hate that. A lot of women hate that. But you hit me over the head. That's the only way I can describe it is because I'm looking at you this way, and your material is completely opposite. So that's awesome,
thank
and
you.
very funny as well. Very
Thank
funny.
you.
If you used that C word during your set, I would have taken a point off.
Oh,
Bonnie.
really?
Yes. But, because I agree, I think a lot of people still get uncomfortable with that word. But you didn't use it in your set. I thought you were great. I think it's harder, personally, to do it in this kind of setting. But you seemed, but like you said, you were more comfortable. I was impressed with that. And I made fun of you when you said you wanted to rewind. But again, I just think that's part of your charm, and I get a big kick out of you. I'm with Joey. I'm giving you a big fat 10.
Whoa!
Thank you, Tony.
29.5. I figured that one out myself. All right. So, Joe, how you feeling?
I'm good to go.
Are you ready to do this, my friend?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the comedy stylings, a 5-minute set of Brentwood's own local legend. I'm from Brentwood too. That's why I said that. Joe Capella.
Right. Thank you. Oh man. So besides this lucrative career I have in comedy over here, I was loading trucks for 31 years for the Carlo Foods. I remember when I got Employee of the Month. Hard to believe, 31 years. Only one good month. I remember one day it was kind of slow, so I figured, hey, what the hell? I'll send my wife a dick pic.
What the hell?
What the hell? She never seen a picture of my boss.
Oh!
Needless to say, that's why I'm not there no more. But I am Puerto Rican. Okay, and our family had a fundraiser last year. And we decided to do one of these. We were going to do one of these Chinese auctions. Instead, we decided to do a Puerto Rican one. Hey, well, you raffled off a lot of stuff. Then we went back and stole it. Speaking of stealing, as Don said, I am from Brentwood. Tough town, Brentwood. A lot of gangs. You get this MS-13 ring around over there. And I think if I still lived in Brentwood, I'd probably start my own over 50 gang. The Blood Clots. I actually just went back to Brentwood for my 40th high school reunion, and it was a real good time there, and nobody got stabbed. I hadn't seen so many Hispanics in a room since the last time I was in court. Yeah, but say what you want about Brentwood High School. It made me what I am today. Unemployed. Yeah. So next week I celebrate 34 years with my wife, Sue. Okay, we've been together 39. We're married 34. And I still remember the first day when we met. You don't see too many more hitchhikers. Nah, she's good, my wife. She's, I got to tell you, she's, my wife, like I said before, somebody said, has MS. She's in a wheelchair. So I take her out shopping and whatnot. And, the other day I took her out and this guy tries to hit on her. Thought he was hot shit sitting in his brand new hop around scooter. Anyways, so it's tough getting old. It is, you know. I mean, I turned 50, I had to go for a colonoscopy, you know, and that wasn't that bad though. The worst part was drinking that stuff to clean you out the night before, and it cleaned you out. I popped out a marble I swallowed when I was like 8 years old. And after the cardiologist I went, he suggested I buy a treadmill. But that didn't work out too good. I kept spilling my beer. Then he sent me to for a stress test. I spent 3 hours with my mother-in-law. Speaking about mother-in-laws. Yes, and but anyway, talk a little about my hair. Okay, I get a lot of some remarks about it. When I was young, my mom used to cut my hair. She used to save the clippings to scrub the dishes. You know, strangers actually walk up to me and they've said, you know, is your hair real? Come on, would I pay for this? I always wanted to look like Mr. Carter. Nah, but anyway, one thing I've always wanted to do as a comic was do the cruise ships. You know, it looks like fun. I got a taste of that this past summer. I got up and started telling jokes on the Sill ferry. No? The Sill ferry.
Oh, the Sill ferry.
I'm sorry. So,
I thought you said disabled ferry. I was like, you have 30 seconds.
All right, but getting back to being old and stuff. I remember when I was young, in my wallet, I used to carry a condom. Now I got a ShopRite card. On that note, that's all I got.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Joe Capella, everybody. Joe Capella. Very good, Joe. Very good stuff. How you feeling now, pal? Feeling good?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The whole thing was great.
Excellent, excellent. Well, the judges are deliberating right now. I just want to say you both did really good, Joe. I really enjoyed your stand-up. Again, it was very insightful. You just played all the corners, all the angles on it, and I love that you addressed the hair because I think your look defines you guys when you get up on stage. It's the first thing people see. They judge you automatically, and I think that when you have a unique look,
nobody remembers your name. You know.
yeah, but they'll always know, hey, the guy with the hair. You know, and I think that's a good thing. I think it's good to have a unique look.
Benny would know. I should have worn my T-shirt. Do you remember the T-shirt I had, a cartoon character with the hair, and it was but it's kind of a little old and shabby right now, but.
But it's good to see some Brentwood representing up in here, man. I'm part of the blood clots.
There you go.
I'm not over 50 yet, but I'm getting there.
There you go.
All right, so we'll start it off, Joe. What do you think, man? What's your score for Mr. Capella?
Joe, as I said, I'm a DJ, and the entire time during your act, I have Chubby Checker, the twist going through my head. You had such a good twist to your jokes, man. I didn't see him coming. Half the jokes, I didn't see the punchlines coming, and you did it with a straight face. I thought overall it was awesome. Okay, so I'm going to give you a 10, and if Don will let me, I'd like to throw a +1, maybe back on something else. If I'm allowed. I don't know the rules, man.
This is our debut show. Why
are-
not?
rules
Wait,
are
as
very
we go.
strict.
We'll give them the extra point. Allow the
Very
extra point.
strict.
I don't know how to make it up. You have two great comics here.
They are
You know,
both good.
Absolutely.
I think they're both awesome. You know, I'm giving them a +1 because I feel like it deserves it. Awesome job. Great delivery.
Thank you.
You're talking about Brentwood. I live in Massapequa Park by the preserves, and I don't want to be in there tomorrow morning, so I'm going to give them a +1.
Thank you.
We will accept the +1. Or
Thank you.
the Gagoot said it's okay, so we're going to move
okay?
forward.
It's a nice.
All right, so what do you think? We'll go Tony.
I loved it. Can I will ask though, what is the Sill ferry? I didn't get that one.
Yeah.
I didn't get
that
that.
one too.
Okay, you know that ironically that joke always. I finish with it because it always does great.
Really?
And it's the Sill ferry is a ferry. Yeah, it's
The ferry that goes to Fire Island.
Yeah. Sometimes that's Port Jeff Ferry. I'll say Sable. You know.
okay. All right.
But that one always surprisingly nobody got it here. That's the one I always didn't expect much from, but it always gets good laugh. So I figured, fuck it.
Well, I was just asking out of curiosity, but because it doesn't really matter, I gave you a 10 as well.
Wow.
I thought you were hilarious, man. I thought you were hilarious.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Nothing more to say. Just thought it was hilarious.
Very good.
That's it.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And Kyle, what do you have to say, pal?
Yeah, I thought good set. I mean, it was really you got the hair. I thought the hair bits were fucking great. I thought the guy pulling up in an electronic wheelchair to hit on your wife. I feel like there's that's a really funny premise. I feel like. And there might be a way to work that out a little more because it's a hilarious premise.
Peter Bales thought that was my best joke when I did about the brokerage. When I took that class, he goes, "That's your best joke." And wouldn't you know, I forgot when I did the show. I said, "It's like son of a bitch."
Yeah, I feel like that could definitely land better. But yeah, I loved it, man. 10.
Nice.
Wow,
Nice.
Loved it.
All right.
So
That's everybody.
31. That's
Thank you.
31 for you. So what we'll do is have to total up these points. You got to give me a half an hour to do the math.
Take some calls.
But I do want to say, if anybody wants to call in now, we'll take some calls and you can talk to our two contestants here, or if you want to talk to our judges.
What are we up to? 100,000 viewers?
We are we have about 10 minutes left on our time, so I do want to give everybody here their plugs. While I do the math. We'll start with Tony, and then we'll just work our way down the line while I'm doing
Well, yeah, we don't
mathematics.
have it up on the screen. So the number actually is 516-465-3990. 516-465-3990. Plugs. You can catch the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show every Monday through Friday right here on govsradio.com. We're on Facebook sometimes, and we're on YouTube. Govsradio.com. It's the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We just talk about random stuff. We bring in some great guests. We just have a lot of fun musicians, people of interest, comedians. We've had Jackie the Joke Man in with us several times, Joey Cola, Joey Petroni, Bonnie Scalisi's been in numerous times. Benny's been in a couple of times. Mike Del Judas from Billy Joel's band.
Joe DeVito.
What's that?
Joe DeVito.
Joe DeVito's
Del
been
Judas is great.
What's that?
He's great. Del Judas got a great voice.
Del Judas is fantastic and a very funny guy too.
Billy when he does the Italian
The Italian
opera
Nessun
thing
Dorma,
and
yeah. Yep. Oh, it's amazing. It's
Insane
incredible.
Del Judas.
Yeah, he's a great guy. We've had a lot of great guests. We have a great time. And you can catch our live show, Knock 'em Dead Comedy. We're performing out the River Walk Restaurant in Riverhead, Long Island. That's on the East End. That's November 15th. November 16th, you can catch us at Maria Regina Church in Seaford. Both shows are doing some murder mystery shows. Go to knockemdeadcomedy.com to see our full schedule, information on who we are, what we do, and booking information. And don't forget govsradio.com as well. And vote for Best of Long Island. Govs Radio is up for Best Radio Station. Knock 'em Dead Comedy is up for Best Party Entertainment and Best Party Planning. What am I missing? Oh, I'm up for Long Island Personality.
Best
Yes.
personality, Tony Walker.
Tony Walker for Best Personality, folks. Put your votes in now.
There you go. Thanks, Don. Appreciate the plugs.
Yes, indeed. Joey Petroni, what do you got happening, my friend?
Well, I was a landscaper. I'm putting the word "was" because I think I've had it with landscaping. The insurance is crazy, and I have crews working for me, and I can't trust them.
Yep.
Wow.
Right? And so I'm gonna.
Oh, that's right. You were here that day,
Yeah.
right? Somebody stole something from you.
Yeah,
when
well,
you were here.
no, I had two guys. They were going to the bathroom behind the customer's shed.
Oh, that was it. Yes.
So the woman called. I talked to them, right? And this is kind of real, but I told them. So the next day she calls me up. She's like, "They're still doing it." I said, "I told them to jump the fence and go in the neighbor's yard." You know. My crew showed up to we're supposed to be at 95 2nd Avenue. They went to 95 1st Avenue. Started ripping out shrubs and stuff. They were at the wrong house.
Oh, jeez.
Oh. Wow.
That's nothing. They cut down a maple tree.
No.
I'm not kidding. 80-foot maple tree.
Wow. That could get costly.
When I pulled up,
Oh, wait, what do they charge you for a maple tree? What was the?
I
how
was
do you
charging
It's like a
1,500
landmark.
bucks.
$1,500 bucks.
Wow.
It had carpenter ants in it, so the thing was falling apart, you know. But we were at the wrong address, so when I was there bringing the guys lunch, the guy came home, you know, and he was livid, and I was like, "They're doing a good job." Like, I never called you guys, man. You know, You can't put back an 80-foot maple tree.
Doing a good job. I like that you defend. You started off defending them. Hey, they're doing a great job.
But that's liability. That's liability.
Yeah.
And my insurance, it's not worth working anymore, man. It's like I'd rather just stay home. So now I'm going back to old school, which is Joey Petroni DJ, which I've been DJing since the 80s.
Yes.
And I'm right back at it now. And if you want to hire a DJ, go to my Facebook page, Joey Petroni, the DJ, or you can call 516-445-3924, or you can call 516-835-5460. That's my wife. Tell her Joey's a good guy. That's all you got to do. You don't have to hire me. Just call and leave a message.
I give Joey a 10.
Hey, put your phone number on there and hold it up, and then
sure.
This way people can see it. While you're doing that, let's talk to Kyle Blake. Your movie, where can people see it? Tell us a little bit about what you got coming up.
Yeah, well, shout out first to the crew, people filming, and in the
Yes.
studio. So what up? They didn't really get on camera, but appreciate what they're doing. I know that's what I do full time, is that kind of stuff. So also the Gagoots was hilarious.
The Gagoots.
He doesn't have the thing on right now, so we'll keep him off camera. So so it's J City Heights. Let's just, if I can spell this correctly, .com. If you want to see me with a bear trying to kill aliens, check that out. I also did a documentary. It's called Fast Food Fit. No, just knock your shit off.
Yeah, he's working on a documentary called Fast Food Fit. That's pretty interesting what you did there.
I ate nothing but fast food for 30 days while training for a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament and tried to get fit. I ate only the healthiest things on the menu. I ended up losing 20 pounds and getting a medal in the tournament. So that documentary is coming out in this spring.
He lost weight, just so everybody...
Eating fast food.
He lost weight eating fast food while training for MMA tournament, and he won a medal during it.
Yes.
So he put the end to all of the negative of fast foods, but you ate the healthy options of health.
Yes, I mean the point of the documentary was to be like, it's what you choose at these restaurants. It's not the fault of the restaurants for offering unhealthy options. If you were to eat a diet just fast food, you could get healthy and lose weight.
Nice. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool indeed. Gagoots is here. Gagoots, we have a
He's
plug.
back.
Let's. The Gagoots is here again to give his plugs. If you want his meatball recipe or his Gagoots recipe,
I want the cannoli.
I got a nice Gagutsa recipe, too. I'm going to give it to Bonnie after the show. I'm sorry, Bonnie. You're the only girl over here. So.
I know. I'm always the only girl.
And, wait a minute, Bonnie. I needed my mustache back. How did that get over there?
That was a good one.
I got it. The only thing I got to plug is the Gagoots is back, and he's on a sit down, shut up, and watch and do some damn stand up, whatever the hell. What's the name of this show?
It's
Shut up, put up, shut up, or put up, and a stand up. And the Gagoots is here. The Gagoots, Alfredo Gagoots, he loves the youth.
we love the Gagoots.
Thank you so much,
I can smell the
everybody.
meatballs cooking in the back right now. He's been busy back there.
Bonnie gets my vote because she's the good of the sport. Then.
Yeah, she's a great
She's the good of
sport.
sport.
I want to thank both these contestants
And Joe.
for really knocking it out today, coming out to our debut show, nailing it, the stand-up at the end, all the challenges you guys, the roast battle, the joke writing challenge, the premise challenge. You guys came through. You did it all. We have the results. Before I give the results, you guys want to give your plugs? You have websites? Anything you guys want to talk about?
I can quick. I got the only thing I got right now that I'm booked for is next Sunday. I'll be hosting a show over here for the headline will be Harry Friedman.
Oh, nice.
From,
I like Harry.
Everybody Loves Raymond fame, and I did a show with him years ago when I first started out, and he was hilarious. So I'll be hosting it, and he'll be the headliner. And
When you say here, you mean here?
in the little room? I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Governor's little room.
The little room.
Right.
Right. But yeah. So anyway, that's really all I got going on right now.
And you have a website or anything you want people to come out and check you out and friend you on
that's it.
Facebook?
You can friend me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook.
Are you on the gram?
No, I'm not. I
like to call it the
I
gram.
haven't been to the Gram yet.
Sounds with it.
Yeah.
He's very with it.
I'm with it, man. I'm with the
You
youngsters.
do vertical? Keep it.
I'm working, I'm getting there. Bonnie, what do you have?
I run an open mic every Tuesday at Coasters. I have a radio show here at Governor's called Three's Company every Wednesday, 7:30. And the only show I can remember right now, I have others, but the only one I can remember is December 20th. Terry McNeely's the headliner in the Little Room. I'm in his show.
Excellent. So go make sure to check all that out. These are both working comedians. They're out there on the scene, on the circuit. Again, we want everybody to support local stand-up comedy, support your local Long Island people. And if you're watching this and you're somewhere other than Long Island, then still support us. We love you all. I got the results, guys. I did the math, and the math is in. And Joey, you got 101.50 tallied, all tallied together. And Bonnie, you got 136.7.
I was going to say, if you tell me which one, does that mean I win? Because I'm bad at math too.
So Bonnie, now that you won, you get to do your second set and go. No, I'm just kidding.
She looked at you like.
No, it's been a dream of mine to get on the main stage because I haven't been on the main stage since the graduation class. I've been in the little room tons and tons of times, but not on the main stage.
Right.
So that's very
Well,
exciting
good.
for me.
We're,
Thank you.
We're in the works of making dreams come true and magic happen and all that stuff.
In the works.
So stay tuned, and we'll see what happens. But I do want to say that's the show for tonight. I want to thank Bonnie and Joe for coming on, and, of course, thank all our judges. What a blast tonight has been, everyone. And I wrote that down before the show. That's how confident I was that this is going to be a good one. Also, be sure to check out govsradio.com for all week long, as there are tons of great shows on this network here on this channel. Also, support Governor's Comedy Club and come on down and watch live stand-up comedy, because there's no better way to watch it than live. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram and put up, shut up, or stand up. Right now, we have a Facebook page. We're working on the rest, but support us, support the show. I'm Don Sill, and on behalf of everyone here, I want to say thank you, good night, and always be funny.
Nice. Bye.
Who wants some Tito's?
Yes, let's bust out the Tito's. Awesome.